In a small village, there lived a humble man named Oliver. He was a craftsman by trade, creating intricate wooden furniture that had earned him a modest living. Though he lived in a small cottage, he was rich in spirit. He had a heart full of gratitude and a sense of peace that many envied. Oliver's days were filled with laughter, work, and love, but he still harbored a quiet longing to achieve something greater, to leave a mark on the world. The villagers loved Oliver, often seeking him out not just for his craftsmanship, but for his wisdom. They would visit him with their troubles, and he would listen intently, offering simple yet profound advice. However, despite his kindness and contentment, Oliver's dream of something more lingered in the back of his mind. One autumn evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains, Oliver was walking along a well-trodden path that led to a distant part of the forest. He often took walks there, gathering inspiration for his work and sometimes just to clear his mind. But on that particular day, something was different. As he walked deeper into the woods, he noticed something shimmering among the roots of a large oak tree. Curious, Oliver approached and discovered an old chest half buried in the earth. With great effort, he unearthed it and opened it, revealing its contents, a sparkling treasure of diamonds, gold, and rare gems. Oliver stood there for a moment, his heart pounding. The thought of wealth, of luxury flooded his mind. For the first time in years, he imagined a life of ease, of owning a grand house and enjoying endless comforts. His mind raced with possibilities, but then, as he reached for the treasure, a thought stopped him. What would he do with all of this? How would this change the life he had built? He realized that this treasure, while tempting, could not bring him the peace he had found in his simple life. But Oliver couldn't shake the allure of the riches before him. He carefully loaded the chest onto a cart and began pulling it toward his home. As he journeyed through the forest, however, something strange began to happen. The diamonds lost their brilliance and turned into plain stones. The gold turned to silver, and the gems faded into dull rocks. As he stopped to examine the chest, Oliver's heart sank. The treasure was no longer what it had once seemed to be. He paused in the middle of the path, a wave of disappointment washing over him. He had dreamt of a life of success and wealth, but this treasure, this illusion of success, had turned out to be nothing more than an empty pursuit. Sitting down on a nearby rock, Oliver felt a sharp pang of regret. Had he spent his life chasing the wrong thing? As he sat there in the quiet of the forest, he felt a deep sense of gratitude for the life he had led. He thought of the moments of joy he had experienced in his small village, how he had helped his neighbors, shared meals with friends, and found peace in the simple act of creating beautiful things with his hands. He remembered the satisfaction he felt after a hard day's work, knowing that his craft brought joy to others. Suddenly it hit him. Success wasn't about wealth or grand achievements or accumulating treasures. Success was about the journey, about finding fulfillment in the work itself and the relationships formed along the way. He realized that the joy he had been searching for had always been within him, in the small acts of kindness, in the daily rhythm of his life. Oliver stood up, leaving the chest of treasure behind. He felt a lightness in his heart, a freedom that he hadn't felt before. He returned home that evening, not with gold or jewels, but with a renewed sense of purpose. As he sat in front of his simple fireplace, he reflected on the lessons he had learned. The next day, Oliver woke with a new determination. He would continue his craft, but he would do so with even more passion and dedication. He would teach others what he had learned, how success wasn't about the destination, but about the effort you put into the journey. He would encourage others to find joy in their work, to cultivate gratitude for what they had, and to never lose sight of the simple things that made life rich. Years passed, and Oliver's reputation as a craftsman grew. His work was admired far and wide, not just for its beauty, but for the heart and soul he put into every piece. He became a mentor to young artisans, teaching them the importance of perseverance, humility, and the power of gratitude. Though he never sought fame or fortune, Oliver's impact on the world was profound. One day, as he sat beneath the oak tree where he had found the treasure, Oliver smiled to himself. He had found success, not in gold, but in the life he had built, a life full of purpose, meaning, and love. And he knew in his heart that this was the true measure of success. Moral of the story: true success lies in the fulfillment of the journey, the passion for your work, and the gratitude for the simple joys of life, not in wealth or external achievements.